and staff. Okay, let me see here. So, in case everyone didn't know, we are located out at the UF Trio Center. So we're actually an off-campus department. We were out at East Campus prior to COVID, but we've been out here at the Trio Center since August of 2019. So, if you've never came by the Trio Center, I invite you to come. Some people say it is a great facility. We do not have any parking restrictions, so that is a nice perk as well. So we're easy to get to, located behind Veterans Park, kind of closer to Tower Road. So we are on the west side of town, but wanted to point out that we are at an off-campus facility. So definitely come by Monday through Friday if you ever want to, come say hi or see the facility. And I did want to plug in here, out at the UF Trio Center, we do have some classroom and meeting spaces. We have an auditorium that we host different training classes for Trio and also some different UF groups. And we've had like Gloucester County School Board and different organizations. So we have an auditorium, a canteen, which is kind of a common area, but sometimes is good for luncheons and trainings. And we also have two classrooms. So unique in the fact that we're off campus and we also have meeting space for different, group needs. But I wanted to put that in there just in case anybody didn't know that we existed out here at the Trio Center. So our team is small but mighty. We have our director, Andy Campbell. We have myself as the assistant director and then two meeting planners along with two fiscal assistants. So between our smaller team, we work with different faculty and staff at UF in different capacities. Our director isn't as involved in conferences as he used to be, since we do have Trio as a unit and then a professional development unit as well. But it's kind of our smaller core group. And then we are transitioning with another team member. So kind of looking for another meeting planner to join the team. But we are a small but mighty group. Our vision, we actually just, as a leadership team, over the past 4 to 5 months, looked at our strategic plan to make updates. So that was quite a lot of work figuring out, what edits and changes we wanted to make. But our vision to be the University of Florida's leading provider of workforce education and events. So conferences is housed with other non-credit professional development units here under Office of Professional and Workforce Development. So we're unique in the fact that we're not housed in an individual college or department on campus. We are under Office of the Provost on the non-credit side. So conferences falls into, our other two units, since with our academic events, we provide continuing education hours. So unique in the fact that we're on the non-credit side, we're not on campus, and then we plan events, but grouped together, we all provide workforce education in some capacity. So with our conference department team, international ambassador for the University of Florida, thereby extending brand through exceptional customer service, professionalism, established best practices, and project managements for many events for UF faculty and staff. So another thing that is unique about the conference department is we can work with any department or college across UF. There is College of Medicine's planning team where they have event planners, and then IFAS also has their own event planning team, but they're kind of more segmented to serving College of Medicine or IFAS groups versus we, work with any group I've worked with, business, chemistry, physics, smell and taste center. We do have a little overlap sometimes with IFAS and College of Medicine groups, but we're not, required to just work with certain like department units, which is also fun for us to be able to connect with so many different faculty and staff across UF. Our mission to empower individuals, organizations, and communities through accessible, dynamic education and event solutions that enhance careers and transform lives. So that is a mouthful. But essentially through, our events, we want to be able to provide, that experience where people create that connection or, that opportunity or network to be able to carry, research forward or, a career change forward. We've had someone, they could go to any event in the world and they chose to come to one of ours in Gainesville, Florida from Spain. So that was really cool. A lot of our events do have international attendees and people from, across the US. So it's not just students, it's not just people local to Gainesville. So we do bring together a lot of diverse groups through our events. And then we strive to offer highest quality experience to our customers by providing outstanding customer service and access to experienced and highly trained meeting professionals. So that means if you work with myself or someone from our team, you're working with someone who, has an extensive event background. That's what we do every day, with our planning and logistics and, project management. It's not like we have another full-time focus of teaching or research. Like we're here working with, clients every day on event planning needs as our main focus. And sometimes we are doing administrative tasks and meetings and calls, but we're here to service UF, as event professionals. And then we definitely want to provide seamless facilitation of meetings, workshops, conferences, and special events. So we can focus on the logistics and event details. The point in hiring our department is our clients can focus on the content. So identifying their speakers, their sponsors, setting their program, like some of the really content focused aspects. So then we can handle all the logistics of the event, and then they don't, on site have to worry about day of execution or the nitty gritty details in between. So we strive to have expert event management for every occasion. Primary goal is expertly coordinate and manage all logistics, allowing clients to focus on program content. Like I said, we're all here to plan events, for you faculty and staff, and sometimes we have some government groups or agency. We've had 50-person events, we've had 1,000-person event. Our normal size is anywhere from 100 to 300. I just had a 500 person event in Orlando in February, so we really do all size and scope related to client planning needs. We also offer UF entities registration and custom planning services based off a fee-for-service model. So what that means is our department is here to provide support for a fee-for-service. So if clients need us to just vet, certain vendors for audiovisual, for catering, for attendee swag, awards, like we can be here to, connect, obtain bids, make recommendations, pay bills. So really just depending on how much or how little clients need, we can be really involved. Some we just do on-site event execution. Some we just help, source vendors and, pay bills. Some we do all the planning from start to finish. We have some clients like Dwan's department where we help with registration support services. So we set up an account where it's appropriately following UF's finance processes, where they're able to, set up an event bank account essentially on UF's end, have a front-facing registration page for attendees and sponsors and speakers to sign up. We give access to reporting. We help with registration support services. So kind of a wide variety of, services that we offer just depending on the client's budget and needs. Okay, so this is the part you're probably most interested in. So event support options. So here I talked about we have, registration services. So this is where We set up, a registration page. We can help process payment, manage, any inquiries that come in for events from attendees or clients, help issue refunds, do purchase orders, invoicing, wires, all that good stuff, and then give access to financial reports and accounts. We also have our custom planning side, which I also kind of talked about, where we offer custom website and marketing, venue and catering, logistical services, CEUs. So we're accredited through CE Broker. So we can set up that prior to an event to offer continuing education, credits that are proved and calculated correctly, that are self-reported by the attendee to their professional association. Fiscal support, we do abstract management, poster boards, on-site management. So what this means is if a client, reaches out to us or wants to work with us with different event planning needs, this is where we, are identifying, researching vendors, we're recommending vendors. The types of vendors that we like to work with are, vendors who are strong communicators, solution oriented, collaborative. A lot of people say, oh, I can customize like my services or my talk. Actually, like, you know, collecting that information about an event and the goals and objectives to figure out, how the services can align, like not only with the event needs, but the budget. We know sometimes like budgets aren't as always wide or deep as we'd like them to be for events. So being able to be flexible on, price points, is really important because sometimes like working with clients on that aspect, gains that trust and visibility to show, great services and rapport to then be a repeat, vendor that we recommend for clients or have for events because some of our events are, every year, some are biannual. We have a lot of clients who worked with us who then recommend us to other clients or reach out to us asking about services. Like I had a client that I just do registration services for them, but they're asking me about like about shipping services, because that's not something they deal with a lot. Or sometimes we'll have clients like who reach out asking about recommendations for venues that can appropriately host, their group size and needs. Or like I know we have someone on here who does awards. Like sometimes we do need those custom branded pieces for events as well as, catering options. Like we have done food trucks for events, and things like that. So a lot of the like vendor aspect is open just depending on, the programming of the event, the location. Sometimes we have events that are outside of Gainesville. So sometimes we're having to work with vendors, that aren't local to the area. So I would say we like to definitely work with vendors who, want to work with us and build great relationships because I think we know we're all successful when we work together, like towards, the goal of the program. And I want to work with someone I know I can trust and is reliable. And when there's issues, like we work together for a solution, because clients, like no matter what happens, clients want, they don't necessarily want to hear about the problem. They want to know like what's the solution? Like how are we, continuing on to still provide what we need, for their end event goal. Um, so yeah, that's kind of more on like, I guess, general vendors. We're not, and like, Desiree was saying, their goal is to make sure there's a competitive and, you know, wide variety of vendor opportunities. We're not set on certain vendors. We obviously have worked with a lot of vendors and have good relationships, but we're always looking for good solutions and partnerships and options. It does make it easier when you are a vendor in UF system. If you aren't, anyone here would be happy to help, make sure that you are set up just because it makes sure certain insurance stipulations and banking details are worked out, just so when we are doing business, we have a way to appropriately pay, for services. Um, and then for us, it's just like sometimes we don't get large planning timelines. I've had clients who reach out between 1 to 2 months before an event who need certain things. Sometimes, we get that 6 to 1 year to 18-month, 2 year window, but we know sometimes like event needs come up on the fly. So sometimes, just being able to work together to figure out how everyone's calendars can, line up to work with each other is also good. But yeah, all of our events have different needs, different wants, different budgets, but having, a way to identify and work with a wide variety of vendors is great for us because it makes it easier when you don't have to go individually hunt and research, for every little request and ask. So we're also, always open to different vendor relationships as well. And then I did have to highlight our new registration system, Cvent. We sunsetted an old registration system that UFIT had that we were in for quite a while, but now we are working with Cvent more as a holistic project management tool. So we have event registration through there that's very customizable. We have event reporting access for clients directly. So at any time, Desiree or Dwan, if they want to pull, their participant list for their upcoming event or check their financial reports, they always are welcome to reach out to us to get those, but they can, conveniently pull those on their own time as well. So that's a nice feature, I think, for our clients to have access to. And then we also have venue sourcing through our Cvent license, which is great when, working on RFPs, requests for proposals for different, venue options. We also have some on arrival features for check-in and name badge printing. And then we have the Cvent mobile app too, which we know nowadays we're moving away towards like a lot of printed programs and abstract books, and everything is more digital and, readily available to update with changes that come with events. So I had to put Cvent in here, even though some of that may not be directly related, but sometimes that's how we also, search for different venues and vendors as well. And that was kind of, I think, without going too long and boring everyone, a general synopsis of who we are, what we do, how we work with vendors, certain, you know, relationship communication building aspects of working with vendors for events. And then this is the best way to contact us. The 352-392-1701 is our main conference line. You will connect with someone that way, or our conference's email, as well as our website. So, and I am happy to take any questions or comments or any dialogue that anybody has. And Desiree, if I missed anything, I'm happy to cover it. So
No worries. Okay, guys, don't all jump like popcorn at once.
it's also lunchtime, so I'm
Thank you,
interrupting people's lunch hour.
thank you, Katie, for the presentation. How can I get my information from my company to you on that email address or?
Yes, I also I'm happy to put my email in the chat so
All right.
that anyone can directly connect with me as well.